I don't paint for what critics are liking. I'm painting whatever I feel like painting, and I want people to be able to enjoy it. So I will always paint what I feel is in my heart and what the Lord is telling me to paint. My name is Arnulfo Jr. Yeah! Alright, so we're off to Bedford because somebody forgot their pencil. Their iPad pencil. Oh yeah, but there's a truck behind me now.
Right, but you were heading the wrong direction.
Here we go. I'm going to catch the freeway.
I thought we were making a big circle.
Oh, we are. We're going to come around the other way, but okay.
Huh?
Here we go. Watch this. People behind me going like, what?
Yeah, this guy's lost his mind. Here we go. Yeah, I wanted to go this back way. We haven't come this way.
I wanted to see if they were following me.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it was.
Okay, we're checking.
Yeah, we're just checking to see if we're being
precautions.
Followed. Exactly.
So we did it. So we're just left Forest Dance Academy, and the dancers there just got, all the performers got their new costumes, so we wanted to see how the set looked against it. So Michelle made a few minor little adjustments. So we're going to get that done this week, which we always anticipate. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like their tech week.
Yeah.
So the costume, other girls look so great. I'll probably put some pictures in right here. To show what they look like, but it was really cute. And then they announced trying to locate the hidden roller bot.
We didn't expect that.
No.
That was kind of caught me off guard because I was like, oh.
But everyone was excited about it, and they loved it, and they loved the set. So it was cute to see everybody. And then we got thrown out of the room because they had to get changed and start rehearsing today. So they've got a busy day ahead of them.
It's okay. So do we.
We do too. Even though it's a vacation day. We're heading to Bedford. He left his pencil for his iPad when he taught on Thursday because it was a hectic day between that. We were working on Little Town Players, Streetcar Named Desire. He had to head off to class. Right after class, went to a meeting at Liberty High School to discuss some set changes, and that was a little bit rough, but it got taken care of. We know what we're doing. Then he rushed on over to Little Town Players, and we worked there until almost midnight. So if all he forgot was his pencil, that's fine. Road trip today.
That's
right. We're going to go retrieve it. So we're going the back way. It'll be fun. And then we go home and...
I do have to give a shout out to Michelle, though. We got a chance to see what she has to do. Now, I have coached a team at the national level, and there's been I think we have 50 or 60 paddlers. You know, I can handle putting together paddlers and getting them lined up and getting their boats all assigned and stuff. Oh my gosh. Costumes, sashes, colors, hemming, embroidery, words. And we just do the sets. And then you got parents and kids talking. You know, it's like, how do you keep track? Shoe size. It's like, oh, good heavens, forget this. I said, give me a team to coach anytime. I could not be a dance instructor. I mean, I can't dance, but I mean, still, don't you agree?
I do. That's why God gives us each our talents and our passions.
Oh my goodness.
And then we work
great
both.
Great job, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm sure some people who do that say, oh, I could never paint a set or whatever. So everyone is super important and necessary with what God has equipped them to do.
Exactly.
And we got to see, and we're like, whew, good job, Michelle, with all of the, I don't even want to call them dance moms because that has such a negative connotation, but you just see how the dance moms and dads just jump right in there, get everything done. They work all as a team, and they're there to support their daughters and sons who are a part of this dance world. So it was fun to feel like a part of it.
I
for
do
today.
have to say too, also that they do take the term dance moms and put it on a positive twist.
Exactly.
They really do, because you can see how well they just work together.
Yep, lifting,
So.
carrying heavy things. So
Yep.
it was fun to have a chance to be a part of it for a while.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna relax. You're gonna go home. Once we get home and
start framing. So you're going to see some of the stuff on how I'm going to frame that stuff. We got to take pictures of the artwork because we're going to put them on our shop, our store, so that you can get little cards and stuff of the artwork and prints.
Yeah, hopefully by the time you're seeing this, our online store will be going, and I'll be able to put a link to it in the bottom here, and we'll just keep adding merch. Trying to be so hip. Adding merch to it with cards and prints and actual paintings and all of that. So, all right, here's our drive, and we'll see you in a bit.
Bye. Here, and I'll just
yes.
Okay. Well, I think that's great, babes. Yeah.
That sounds like a fair plan.
Yeah, and I think that if I end up getting any kind of money from the art shows, if we go in there, I'd like to split it so that it would come in, and then also put some in our regular budget, just so that it's in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I feel like. The heater's on here, so we there we go.
Welcome to the dark side. Oh, I gotta get pictures of all of them. Actually, and then this one here that's going.
Yeah.
Of course, this one here is not for sale. Unless you want to spend $10,000 for it, that's the only way my wife's going to let it go. But I don't think anybody's going to want to buy it for 10 grand. If somebody does, my jaw's going to be on the ground and you're going to see me like this. I'm not worth 10 grand.
You want so much more.
Perfect. Perfect.
So
Art show quality material right there, baby.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
The other ones were deeper.
Yeah.
But that one is like the size of the canvas, right? Yeah. Is it okay for you to?
Perfect.
Okay.
You scored, babes.
Sweet.
I don't know why, but she always gets nervous when she orders my frames. Art shows are supposed to be pretty simple, and she does a doggone good job of choosing the right frames. I love what she says. Budget helps.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the fanciful person who likes frames. Gotta remember, you don't want to get too fancy in a frame.
Yeah, because most likely the person buying the artwork will switch it out, right?
Maybe we'll want to switch out the frames so if we keep it simple. Oh, that really looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope this guy sells.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope
That's
they all
great.
sell.
Me too.
You don't want to bring your paintings home.
I know.
Is it on?
Yeah. I'm close the door.
Hi. So, we're only days away from the art opening. I'm nervous. At first it was because I didn't think anybody was going to show up, but I think we're getting a big response. Now it's like, is my stuff good enough to show? Yeah, I know. That's basically how I feel. And Lisa seems to think that it's going to be a real rousing success, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take photographs of the work, and we're going to be putting them as prints and also for cards as well for those of you who are shopping online. Or if you can't make it to the show, we'll actually have prints available for those who may want prints, and even promotional posters that were used during the show. So you're going to see how we do this and how we work utilizing the sun. That's the best light source to use to shoot your work. So anyway, we want to get the best quality of work so that if you end up purchasing them, it's like getting close to the original. So here we go. The reason she has to make sure it's level, if it's not level, and even though you're showing it at a slight angle, it will distort slightly. So for her to get that level, that means it's straight and flat. That means she's getting a straight, flat picture. It's really important when you're shooting these here. So it takes a little time, but hey, better take a few minutes and making sure it's good and near perfect than to go, that's okay. That's just the way we work.
It says it's level. It says this is level.
Okay.
Doesn't look level to me.
Voila. Well, this is our first of 11 that are going to be framed today that are ready for the show. I'll go step by step when I do this. This is the first painting I did for the show, Poseidon's teddy bear. I guess I should squash down so you can see me a little bit. The back side, as you can see, the frames are provided by American Frame. American Frame, not a sponsor, not a sponsor, not a sponsor. American Frame is online. They are located in Ohio, and you're really very reasonable frames. If you have experience in framing, I highly recommend that you go with American Frame. We have never had a problem with their frames. It's a lot more inexpensive. It's very inexpensive as compared to getting them wholesale through the regular frame shop. Keep in mind that they're paying for labor and overhead, and here you're just paying for the actual frame. If you put it together yourself, it's even cheaper. So if I were to take this to a frame shop and have it done professionally, papered on the back, having the wire, everything that I'm doing now, this one frame would easily cost me $200. When you're doing an art show, keep in mind that you want to go with a simple frame. You also want to go with a frame that is going to be a type where the client or person whoever buys the work may want to change out that frame for another frame that they have in mind, or however the case might be. So I'm not going to paper these in the back, and like I said, normally if this was a commission and it was specifically, I would dust cover the back for it. But for reasoning that if it does get sold, they can easily pop this right out. They can paper it themselves, and then of course I'm going to wire it so it'll be easy for hanging. This would be still considered gallery ready, anything that's ready to be hung up. So I'll go step by step and show you basically what I have. Now the clips that they have here on this are a little different. Normally you just have the L clips. This here, they have the branded clips here on the side. And so I've taken one here, one in the center on the top, and as well as on the bottom, and then clip that. They also provide for you, and I'll show you one. You do not want to frame your work using these. They provide these are called alligator clips. I got one in there. There you go. See, that's an alligator clip, and obviously for reasons why. This here is, and you'll see them in your very inexpensive frames. They go at the top, and you'll see them clipped at the top of the frame here. That's not professionally done. So you see frames like that on the back. Here's the reason why. The frame, if you look at frames, you look up frame. Frame is simply a piece of tool, or basically an element that protects the artwork. That's all it is. It enhances the work. It's part of the artwork. It's still a very vital, important part of the artwork, but nevertheless, it's just to protect the frame. So with that being said, you're doing all you can so that your work, or the work that you're purchasing, isn't damaged. So there is nothing actually anchored into the artwork itself. It's on the frame, and then it's clasped on here. The wiring is then anchored to the frame. Now, the reason why you don't use the alligator hangers, when you wire from the back here, pressure is pulled up, it causes the frame to pull in, and therefore it's tightening up the artwork and creating much more support. If I alligator hang this here, that pressure is going to be coming from here, thus pulling the top of the frame and putting pressure on this pressure joint and on this joint here, which will damage the frame and eventually could damage the work by it warping or falling off and creating damage. Here, you're going to be pulling the frame in from the side, utilizing the sides of it. If you have an extra large picture, you do what you call it, I tend to call it W wire. No, that doesn't mean W as in the beginning word of wire. What you do, let's say this was a 36 by 54, huge. I'm gonna put a wire eyelet here, one here, and then I'm gonna put a couple down here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that wire, come here, down, up, and then back down, and then up this way. So you actually have a W on the back. When you hook that, it's not only pulling from the sides, it's pulling from the bottom, and therefore distributing the weight evenly throughout the work itself. So now the frame is being the weight is being evenly distributed throughout the whole frame. Not only are you pulling from the sides, you're pulling from the bottom of the frame as well too. That's if, of course, you have a very large piece. If you have a very small piece, I still wouldn't recommend alligator hangers. Stay away from them as much as you can. And if you have a frame that has it, take that off and wire it yourself. Rewire it. You want that frame to be kept its shape so it doesn't distort. You can actually see those if you go into excuse me, if you go into offices and you see the certificates, you can start seeing the top of the frame, and you'll see it starting to bow a little bit. It's ever so slight. It's now the pressure starting to pull up on that. And in some cases I've seen where the glass, you can see where the glass has been cut because the alligator hanger is pulling up from the top and it's distorting the frame. Anyway, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to wire. What's the rule on wiring? Usually about 2/3 down. I usually eyeball it, so it's going to be about right here. You don't want to go too high, obviously too low. So right around here, about about a third of the way down is where you're going. It's usually about the rule of thumb where you want to wire your picture. So here I go. I'm going to wire this in and get it ready. Oh, well. Hello there, Arnulfo here, once again. Yeah, forget it. Well, it's been a wonderful night. Temperature's starting to drop again, down in the 20s. It's nice. And let's see what else. Well, today's been actually a wonderful day. This weekend has been really, really good. We've had a chance to just pretty much relax, and well, really our version of relaxing means doing stuff. We're still working. I've got my last paintings. What do I have here? Oh, Captain Nemo. These will be the last ones that I'm framing. So I'll have 11 framed, which are ready for the show. I have 2 more to do, and that'll be fine. And then I've got to stretch the original painting, which is Sea Dreamers, which of course that one won't be for sale. That's the one that Elise and I first met, well, the semester before we met. So there's a story behind that one. And then I'll be finishing the Defender of the Seven Seas. I have a frame ready for that one. And then I'll just have to glaze that one. And the last one I have to do is the large one, which is Underwater Flight of the Penguins. It's really been wonderful. Just kind of reflecting over everything that's been happening this year. The Lord's really blessed us so far. We're seeing a lot of work coming our way, blessings from people and friends. And for those of you here in Lynchburg, um, yeah, it's one thing about being an artist, you get all emotionally choked up, but we have never seen so much love and so much admiration, appreciation for my wife and I as we have seen these 4 years here in Lynchburg. You people have been absolutely wonderful and have just adopted us as part of your family. And it's really been wonderful to share what God has graced me with the talents to do, and the talents my wife has been able to utilize hers in keeping me on track. And that amounts to God's glory, being able to pass on those talents and gifts that He's given us to everybody here in Lynchburg and in Brookneal, as well as Bedford. And we're growing. So this weekend, we were able to see two one-acts at Dunbar Middle School, which we were really proud of those kids, seeing a lot of them just flourish and develop. We also got a chance to see Beauty and the Beast at Liberty Christian Academy, the middle school. Those young kids were really phenomenal. And then, of course, we were surprised today when we went to Forest Dance Academy. They put together the set. They have been really blown away with what we've done. And Michelle Thomas decided to make a big presentation with the hidden rollerbots, which we did, and found out that a lot of the parents there are friends of ours, which is really wonderful to hear and to see. And told them how they could enter the contest of finding the rollerbot, and then liking our page, entering, and going into a drawing to do a free $50 a free portrait worth $50. So we're both feeling a little tired. Lisa's getting ready to hit the sack, and I'm putting together the last frame for tonight, and I'll have two more to put together tomorrow of the smaller ones, and then I'll finish the Defender of the Seven Seas, glaze that one, let that dry. It takes about anywhere between 24 to 30 hours to dry, and then I'll have to wait for that one to dry. I have to wait for the paint to dry first. If I immediately glaze it while the paint is still wet, major disaster. So then stretch the other one, as I said, and we're pretty much set. The show will open up this Friday at the Virginian Hotel. From 5:30 to 6:30 will be the artist reception. And like I said before, I am a bit nervous. So we'll see. Hopefully most of you, not all of you out there at the show, at the reception, and get a chance to see my work other than just set designs. This is a little different. I think somebody had asked me some time back what I felt about my work in the art world today. And you know, the art world, and I've said this before, fine art, meaning the fine art of gallery art, there isn't anything new, to be honest. When somebody says, ooh, this is fresh, there is really no such thing as fresh. I can trace any new artist, I don't care how contemporary they are, will go back to anybody. It can go back to Jackson Pollock. It can be that of Renoir. It can be that of, well, not so much Peter Paul Rubens or the masters there, but Paul Cézanne, Henri Matisse, even Duchamp. But you will see something that has already been done. So when my pieces go up, many critics or many other people in the art world will say, oh, well, those are just illustrations. I don't paint for what critics are liking. I'm painting whatever I feel like painting, and I want people to be able to enjoy it. So I will always paint what I feel is in my heart and what the Lord is telling me to paint, despite the fact that even my work, and I'll be the first one to admit, has been done before. Some critics say that true art only tells something new, but it doesn't repeat or expound the beauty of what art is like. That's an easy way out. Whatever. Um, but for me now, I'm going to infuse, the next show will be the fine art of rollerbots. I'm going to take my characters, which are considered cartoons, and infuse them into real life situations. Has that been done before? Yes, it has. But I'm taking something which would be somewhat futuristic in the second millennium and tying it in with the first millennium. I'm tying in history with something that has to do with the future, technology, humor, childlike innocence. So that's going to be my new route that I'm going to head to. Am I looking to be the next great artist? I can't say that. I don't think I ever will be, but that's up to history, and that's going to be up to those people who enjoy my work. I do know this much, that everybody who sees my rollerbots loves them, and that brings great joy to me, and that's what I want to see. And that's going to be the next big show. But this show here is to put my foot in the door, is to show other people what else I can do other than just set designs, um, other than just putting paintings on a wall, or a lot of people don't even realize that I've designed T-shirts. I did that for a lot of schools. People don't know I know how to do layout design, brochures, programs. There's a wealth of stuff that I haven't shown yet, and hopefully those will be revealed in time. But as of now, like my wife would say, take one small step at a time. And being married to her, I'm learning how to do that. So thank you, my love, for showing me just to take one step at a time. So tonight is the Saturday. So now I have less than 7 days to get ready, which we're pretty much in the home stretch now. I couldn't have done this without the Lord, first and foremost. So praise God to Him and for what He's done and given to me. And I definitely couldn't have done without the greatest gift that He's given me, my wife, Elisa. Because she's the one who has kept me on track. And of course, when I'm talking too much, like I probably am now, will look at me and go, "We gotta get on the set, go." We artists need that sometimes, because majority of artists are very creative, but lousy at organizing time and organizing the analytical stuff. Trust me, I'm the type of person that you could ask me, "How long do you think you've been working on that?" And I would turn around and tell you, "Oh, about 20 to 30 minutes." "No, you've been on it for 2 hours." And my wife would say, "Yes, that's exactly what he says." So tonight we say good night, and then I'm going to get back to my work, and we'll see you tomorrow. And Elisa will see you tomorrow as well. So it's been an exciting weekend. God bless. And to take the line from another